Listen to me. Everything you've been waiting for, praying for, hoping for, it's all on the other side of how you think. Your mind is the gatekeeper to your life. If you've been living in the same place, driving the same route, feeling stuck in the same cycle year after year, it's not because the world ran out of opportunities. It's because your mind has been running out of room. You've been thinking too small. And when you think small, you live small. The crazy thing is, the limits you feel pressing down on you aren't even real. They're invisible fences built from years of doubt, fear, and playing it safe. You've told yourself, this is all I can do. This is all I deserve. And guess what? Your life will happily agree with you because your life will never outgrow the boundaries you've set in your mind. Here's what a small vision does. It traps you. It makes you afraid to try. It keeps you measuring yourself against people who are playing in a league you could have passed a long time ago. You convince yourself that shooting for just enough is the responsible thing to do. But just enough never gave anybody joy. Just enough never built anything worth remembering. Let's be real. If your dreams don't make you a little uncomfortable, they're too small. If your goals don't make you look up and think, man, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, they're too small. And if your vision doesn't scare you just a little bit, you're not stretching yourself, you're shrinking yourself. Life responds to what you're willing to ask of it. If you only ask for scraps, you'll get scraps. But if you dare to ask for the banquet, if you dare to imagine yourself at the table, opportunities start showing up. And they're not magic. They're just a reflection of your own belief. See, the moment you expand your thinking, you start seeing doors that were always there but invisible to the small-minded version of you. Your mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow. But if you plant tiny seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, don't be surprised when all you get are tiny results. On the other hand, if you plant bold, wild, seemingly impossible dreams, you give yourself a chance to grow something extraordinary. Yes, it might take longer. Yes, it might be harder. But when it blooms, it's going to be worth every single risk you took. People love to say, be realistic. And I'm here to tell you that realistic is just a polite word for small thinking. Realistic is usually based on what's already happened in your past, not what's possible in your future. You can't build a bigger life while staring in the rearview mirror. You've got to look through the windshield, see the open road, and realize the lane ahead is wider than you've been driving in. You have to stop negotiating with yourself about what's possible. Stop saying, I'll go after that when I'm ready, or I'll try when I've got more money, more time, more connections. That's small thinking disguised as preparation. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never start. Big thinkers move even when they're scared. They step even when the path isn't fully lit. They trust that every step forward reveals the next. I'm telling you, your breakthrough is not hiding in a lottery ticket or a miracle. It's hiding in the corners of your own mind, waiting for you to clear out the small thinking that's been blocking it. The minute you stretch your vision, you start moving differently. You stop entertaining people who speak in limitations. You stop wasting your time on things that keep you small. You start investing in yourself like you're worth the outcome you're chasing. I've seen people with half your talent, half your skills, and half your opportunities build lives you can't even imagine, all because they had the audacity to think big. They didn't have the money when they started. They didn't have the network, but they had a vision so big, it pulled them forward when every excuse told them to quit. So here's the truth. You are not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because your vision is unfair to the person you're meant to become. And the only way to change that is to give yourself permission to dream bigger. Ask yourself, what would I go after if I knew I couldn't fail? Then go after that like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your mind sets your limits. And if you keep your vision small, you keep your life small. But the moment you expand your thinking, your life will follow. It has no choice. That's the law. So think big, believe bigger, and watch your world grow to match the size of your new vision. Let's be honest. You're not jumping out of bed at 5 a.m. for something you halfway care about. You're not staying up late, pushing through frustration, sweating, grinding, and sacrificing for a dream that doesn't light a fire in your gut. Small dreams don't do that. Small dreams let you sleep in. Small dreams say, it's okay, you can do it tomorrow. Small dreams let you hit snooze on your potential. And that's why so many people never find out what they're really capable of, because they keep chasing dreams that aren't big enough to demand their best effort. Here's the truth. Effort follows excitement. You can read all the motivational quotes in the world, but if your dream doesn't excite you, you won't put in the work it takes to reach it. And I'm not talking about the kind of excitement that lasts for 2 weeks and fades. I'm talking about the type of vision that gets under your skin, that keeps you up at night in the best way, that makes you willing to endure the hard days because you know the payoff will be worth it. See, a small dream might make you comfortable. It might keep you in a place where you don't risk much, where you don't face much rejection, where you don't have to deal with failure, but it will never push you into greatness. Small dreams are safe. Big dreams are dangerous. They demand sacrifice. And that sacrifice is what produces growth. When you set a small dream, you set a small standard for yourself, you start measuring success by whether or not you just got through the day instead of whether or not you took a real step toward building the life you actually want. But when you set a big dream, the stakes change. You start thinking differently. You start moving differently. Your energy changes because your dream is big enough to pull more out of you than you thought you had. Let me put it this way. If your dream doesn't make you uncomfortable, it's too small. If it doesn't make you think, I have no idea how I'm going to pull this off, but I know I have to try, it's too small. Comfort never wakes you up early. Comfort never drives you to give 110% when you're tired. But discomfort, passion, and the thrill of chasing something that feels almost out of reach, that will make you fight. And the fight is where the magic happens. Because in chasing a dream that feels too big, you start to discover your real capacity. You find out you're stronger than you thought. You find out you can take more setbacks than you believed. You find out that the grind isn't something to be avoided. It's something to be embraced because it's shaping you into the person who can actually handle the blessing you're chasing. Think about it. The people who change the world, the ones we look up to, the ones who build businesses, write books, create art, lead movements, they're not driven by little manageable dreams. They're driven by visions that look impossible from the outside. That's why they go so hard. That's why they wake up before everyone else, work longer than everyone else, and keep pushing after everyone else has given up. A small dream doesn't create urgency. It lets you procrastinate. It lets you waste time scrolling, binge watching, and distracting yourself because deep down it doesn't feel like it matters much whether you do it today or not. But a big dream, that's different. A big dream makes you feel like every day counts. You start valuing your time because you realize that every wasted hour is a step further away from the life you're chasing. And here's the kicker: the size of your dream sets the tone for the size of your actions. You can take small, half-hearted steps and expect big results. If you're not waking up excited, if you're not willing to put in that uncomfortable work, it's not because you're lazy. It's because the thing you're chasing isn't pulling you hard enough. So maybe the problem isn't that you can't stay disciplined. Maybe the problem is your dream isn't big enough to demand discipline. If you're going to give your time, your energy, your sweat, your tears, make sure it's for something that makes the fight worth it. Make sure it's for something that when you finally get it, you'll know every early morning and every late night was worth it. Don't let small dreams steal your energy. Don't let them convince you to live in neutral. Set a goal so big, so bold, so personal to you that it scares you and excites you at the same time, because that's the kind of dream that will get you up in the morning. That's the kind of dream that will make you push harder, stay longer, and keep moving forward no matter what's in your way. Small dreams don't spark big action, but big dreams, they'll set your soul on fire. And when your soul is on fire, nothing, and I mean nothing, can put it out. There's a certain energy that comes with thinking big, and it's magnetic. When you raise the size of your vision, you raise the size of the opportunities that show up in your life. It's almost like the universe is standing there saying, oh, you're ready for more now. Okay, let me see what I've got for you. Big thinking is an invitation for big blessings. The problem is most people never send out that invitation because they never think beyond what feels safe. When you decide to step into a vision that feels too big for you, something shifts. You start carrying yourself differently. You start speaking differently. You start making choices as if the life you want is already yours. And because you're thinking on a larger scale, you start noticing opportunities that small thinking would have completely overlooked. Those doors were always there, but you couldn't see them because your vision was too low to meet their height. The truth is, life rewards courage. Big thinking requires courage because it means you're willing to believe in something you can't see yet. It means you're willing to step into rooms where you feel out of place, have conversations with people who intimidate you, and commit to goals that seem way beyond your current abilities. And here's the magic: the moment you step into that space, you start growing into the person who belongs there. Big blessings don't come to people who play small. They come to the ones who are willing to risk looking foolish, risk failing, and risk stretching themselves beyond what they've done before. If you only ever aim for what you know you can do, you'll only ever get what you already have. Big thinking forces you to dream beyond your resources, beyond your network, and beyond your current skill set. And that's where growth lies. Now, thinking big doesn't mean you instantly have everything figured out. Far from it. Most of the time, you'll have no clue how it's going to happen. But that's where the blessing comes in. The how will reveal itself when you start moving. Opportunities align when you take the first step into something that feels too big. People you never expected to meet show up. Resources you didn't think you could get your hands on become available. Doors that were locked start swinging open, and you realize they were always unlocked. You just needed the boldness to turn the handle. The fear you feel when you think big is actually proof you're on the right track. If it feels comfortable, it's not big enough. Big thinking should make you ask, who am I to go after this? And the answer is you are exactly the person who's supposed to go after it, because it's your vision. It's not too big for you. It's designed to grow you into the person who can handle it. People sometimes think blessings are random, that they just happen to lucky people. But luck often looks a lot like preparation meeting opportunity. And preparation happens when you're thinking on a higher level, setting higher goals, and positioning yourself for the moment those opportunities arrive. If you think small, you won't even be ready when the blessing knocks. But if you've been thinking big, you'll recognize the knock and open the door without hesitation. Another thing about big thinking, it changes what you say yes to and what you say no to. When you have a small vision, you'll say yes to anything that's convenient or easy. But when you have a big vision, you start saying no to things that waste your time, drain your energy, or distract you from your goal. You become intentional. That focus attracts even more opportunities because people can see you're serious. And here's the part most people miss. Big blessings aren't just about material things. They're also about the people you meet, the skills you gain, and the person you become along the way. The bigger you're thinking, the more life throws challenges at you that shape your character, discipline, and resilience. By the time the blessing shows up, you're not the same person who started chasing it. You've grown into someone who can handle it without losing it. I'm telling you, if you want bigger blessings, start thinking bigger than your bank account, bigger than your current circle, bigger than your comfort zone. Stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a side effect of stepping up, not a prerequisite. The bigger you think, the more you'll stretch yourself, and the more you stretch yourself, the more doors will open that you never even knew existed. Big thinking is like sending out a signal to the world saying, I'm ready for more. And when that signal is strong, life responds. Opportunities, connections, resources, ideas, they all start flowing your way. It won't always be easy. And it won't always happen fast, but if you keep your vision big, the blessings that come will be worth every step of the journey. So stop aiming for what you know you can reach. Aim for what makes you stretch, what makes you uncomfortable, what makes you grow. Because when you think big, you give life a reason to bless you big. And when those blessings come, you'll look back and realize they were there all along, just waiting for you to think big enough to receive them.